Alright, so today I have some sad news because Discord is kind of dying a little bit. I mean, it's not actually dying, it's not actually like losing a lot of users, but it is kind of making some interesting changes that the community doesn't really like all that much. So it's kind of battling its own community right now, and for like no reason. Right, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. So we're gonna get into it. So we have a post here by Discord that they've announced like a week or two ago, and it's about evolving usernames on Discord. So they want to change usernames. Now, if you've been on Discord, me personally, I've been on Discord for a while, for almost 6 years even. I started Discord when I was 10 years old, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, so ever since the start of Discord, you had a tag, right? So this guy right here, Phoebe, and then the hashtag 8936. That's how it's always been, and it's a great way. It's a great system. I see no problem with it. Never had an issue with it. But now they want to change it, so they want to have display names, which you have in servers. You have server nicknames, so it's kind of the same as that. So you have your real name here, the original name, without the tag, and then a display name. So you cannot have a tag anymore, which means there's only one of each username now. So this guy Phoebe here, this guy is his real username now is Phoebe is cool because he cannot have the tag anymore. So there's already a Phoebe that exists. So he made his display name Phoebe, so he's still Phoebe. That's what is displayed as, but his actual Discord username is Phoebe is cool, which is just dumb. Like there can only be one of each username now, instead of 9,999. Which I don't know. I don't see the thought idea behind this. There's never been an issue with this, but suddenly they just want to change it to this. Anyway, let's see a little bit about what they have to say here. So yeah, as I just said, they just say here, starting this month, however, we're making big changes to how usernames and identities work on our platform. So the whole point of these changes is that we want to make it a lot easier for you and all the new users who come to Discord to connect and hang out with friends. And as Discord's co-founder, I want to talk about these changes personally. We all know that usernames and identity are important, and we understand that some of you may not like this change and disagree with it. We know that this is an issue you feel strongly about. So he's saying that they want to make it easier, and I don't really agree with whatever he's already saying, but we're going to read a little further. We also recognize that our current username format has been one of the things that makes Discord unique, and that this change makes our usernames look a lot like those on other platforms. To be blunt, that's kind of the point. These weren't easy decisions, and we didn't come to them lightly. We've put a lot of thought into this, like a lot. So I'd like to walk you through how we got there and what's going to happen next. So I don't know why they would want to look like other platforms. Like that's the point apparently, but I'm still not seeing why. But let's keep reading. So here in the how we got here section, we have them talking about how they started with usernames and that they didn't want anyone to ever see the screen your desired username is taken. So they wanted everyone to be able to have their own username, right? So they didn't have a friend system back then, so they allowed case-sensitive usernames as well, and this became a technical debt that we didn't address adequately. Okay, interesting. So they say, meanwhile, as Discord grew, we get tons of requests to let people chat with one another, and so they added the friend system, and then they added the tag, the discriminator. So that wasn't a thing in the beginning, but eventually they added it, and now after 8 years, as Discord has grown and friending has become more popular, more problems have emerged. The technical and product debt we incurred years ago caught up with us, and small issues that seemed to impact a few people started to affect tens of millions of people. The biggest problem, our current usernames can often be too complicated or obscure for people to remember and share easily. So they say we've heard from tons of people that they've run into problems like these. You try to share your username outside of Discord, unfortunately you either can't remember the discriminator, have to explain which letters are uppercase or lowercase, or have to try to specify which password characters your name uses. You meet someone IRL that you want to talk to on Discord and they say, I'm Phoebe8936. You go home and add Phoebe8936 to only find out you added the wrong Phoebe because your friend's username is actually Phoebe with all these caps. Now let's tackle these 2 points real quick because they're already dumb. First of all, write the fucking thing down, alright? I've exchanged tags before, and if you don't if you can't remember which special characters your name uses, like in a hashtag or an @ or a $sign, just don't put those fucking things in your name. Like you don't have to do that. Just it's either way, it's still dumb because you can just have an easier username yourself. You don't have to fucking remove tags entirely just because of this. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, who even says this? You want to talk on Discord and you just say this out loud? Like, no one does that. There's a piece of paper always, or you can literally just text. And also, with the remembering outside of Discord, why can't you just open Discord on your phone while you're talking to someone and literally just, that's what I've done. I just have my phone out and I just, I put it up and then he just, the other person just writes it down. on his own Discord on his own phone, and he just types it in, and I get the friend request, and it's all good. Like, I don't know, do these people not have internet? They can't access anything? I don't know how much people are in those situations, but I don't think it's very common. Now, the next thing is you want to use a common name like Mike or Jane, but there are already 9,909 Mikes or Janes, so you're blocked for that name altogether. So this is the thing that they say, that like, oh yeah, so there's already 10,000 Mikes, alright, so you can't do that anymore. So some names do have a limit, right? Because there's of course a specific amount of tags, and you know, eventually you run out of tags, right? So you can't have infinite Mikes because there's just not enough tags for that. So the name Mike, for example, here I guess is not in use anymore. But there's very simple fixes from that. You can add a dot to your username. I have a friend on Discord, Hassan, and the name Hassan is also taken. So he just has a dot in his username, just a Hassan and a dot, and then he can use it fine. He doesn't really have any problems with it. And I heard someone say this on Reddit as well, maybe I'll get into that comment later, that okay, so now it's instead of 9,000 mics or 10,000 mics, it's going to be one mic. So, I mean, you're turning 10,000 happy people into one happy people, or person, I mean, one happy person. So, it doesn't really make sense. So they want to make the number of mics smaller. Instead of 10,000, they want to make it 1. Like, what? So, I mean, this will be a very bigger issue with the new update. It makes no sense. And I want to get into a little argument here as well. So I have his Twitter profile here. We all know Mike on Twitter. If you don't know him, he's a shitposter. He's pretty funny. But if you look at this guy's username, right, you see Mike and a whole bunch of numbers. Now this is what Twitter does. If you try to put, your username is Mike on Twitter, you get a whole bunch of numbers. So it's a unique username, right? Because you can't have multiple mics on Twitter. There's no tags or anything. So there's only one of each username here. And, whenever you try to use a very commonly used username, it gives you a bunch of random numbers. Now, and username like this, Mike with a bunch of fucking numbers, that's how people are gonna, look like on Discord as well then. If there's only gonna be able to be one Mike, then people are gonna have to be doing bullshit like this. If there's gonna be so much fucking mics, there's gonna be 10,000 mics that have a different version of Mike, you're gonna have a whole lot of weird variations. Which literally comes back to these 2 points right here. How is someone going to remember all this? Mike 273568894. That's so much more numbers. That's more than the tag itself. Like, people are just going to add like a couple numbers to their username so it fits. And that's essentially just a tag again. Like, you're just reinventing the tag almost. I mean, if my username is taken, I'll probably add like an underscore or just literally a number to it. That's what I do on, I think it's on League of Legends? No, I'm not even sure. Epic Games, I think it is. On Epic Games, I have an underscore, and on chess.com, I just put a 1 in the end because my username is already taken, so I'm /MMR1 on that. So that's literally, people are just gonna do that. So it's gonna be more confusing, and maybe one of the mics is gonna have an exclamation mark instead of an I. That could also help to get your name, and it's just gonna be even more confusing than it already is. Which, by the way, I don't even think it is confusing at all. Like, I've never had an issue with this. I've never heard of anyone that had an issue with this, but they're making it overcomplicated for no reason. More than 40% of you either don't remember your discriminator or don't even know what a discriminator is. Like, I don't know where these stats are from, but, I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty common knowledge what a discriminator is. Well, maybe you shouldn't use the term discriminator. Like, I think if people say tag always, like, I never say discriminator. I mean, maybe if you ask people what a tag is, maybe they're more than 40% would know. Or 60, I mean. But yeah, this whole article doesn't even make sense. Almost half of all friend requests fail to connect the user with the person they want to match with. Now, once again, it's just, I don't know. This doesn't really fix it, though. So they have considered multiple solutions to this issue. They want to add case sensitivity and special characters. They want to remove those things, I think. Yeah, I mean, I guess I wouldn't be too mad about that, I suppose. I mean, like, it is kind of, it's kind of a lot, the mutations of, like, usernames. I don't know. I feel like if they remove this, it would be, less of an issue. I feel like I don't know. It's just unnecessary. But if they did that and 1/3 of their active users would be forced to change their name, but right now everyone has to. So like, what do you mean? Oh yeah, and if they remove special characters, then people from regions from non-alphanumeric characters, like in Asia and Arabic letters, those people wouldn't be able to represent themselves properly. I guess that makes sense. So special characters need to stay, alright? Fuck it. So yeah, they just went through a whole bunch of different things here. They even worked with the display name as well, which they already did it in the end. I mean, this is the display name, right? The Phoebe thing. So they did kind of implement a display name, but Yeah, they say how we're improving usernames on Discord. Right? You're not improving it, alright? You're doing a horrible job here. Like, it's not improving at all. So yeah, it's gonna be changed, and here's the new username, which would be this with no tag, and then you have a display name, which I guess in the end she'll still show up as this then, as the Phoebe. But if someone tries to add you, it's the new username thing. Phoebe is cool, and yeah, they're rolling it out in the upcoming weeks. We'll begin notifying users when they're able to update their account. So be on the lookout for that when it's your turn. And I don't know how much people have it yet, but I mean they're starting with the earliest users first, right? That makes sense. That's fair, of course. People that have been using it the longest, Discord, they can get their username as they like. So we're gonna have a bunch of OG accounts with cool usernames, I suppose, but still, bro, it's just trash. And Nitro subscribers also get early access, which is cool. I mean, I've been subscribed to Nitro for almost 4 years now, the expensive version. So I better get over 4 years actually. I think I got it in April, right? I think so. Oh no, my bad. June 9th, alright, June 9th I got it, 2019. So, I'm waiting on my turn, bro. I hope it's coming soon. So yeah, they believe it is truly the best way to help people hang out with friends. And yeah, that's about it for this article. There's not much more on it. And they say something here in the end, that they recognize it might be a big change, and it might be tough to part ways with that hashtag 0001, which is what I'm using right now. So, they're saying, of course, yeah, the Nitro tags also will be gone. And this is an issue that I have. It's not really necessarily about this itself, like the whole article itself, but the fact that this, like, they're removing one of the most important Nitro features. Like, a lot of people buy Nitro just for that tag, alright? Like, a lot of people already complain that Nitro is pretty useless. The only reason I have it personally is because, of course, the server boost, that's what I use it for, the 2 server boosts that you gain from it. But, I mean, the tag is a very nice, additional feature to it. So I feel like that's probably my second best reason to have it, and maybe animate profile pictures. I feel like animate profile pictures are also pretty useful. But I mean, the tag is like the top 3 of like probably the biggest reasons why people get Nitro, and they're just removing it for no reason. And as I said, people already complain that Nitro is bad and that it's just pretty useless, and they're gonna remove this, which will just make it more useless. But anyways, we're gonna look at some Reddit posts right now. We're going over them briefly. So yeah, we have a lot of posts here. So they're saying, why is the change being pushed despite having overwhelmingly negative feedback? So we have one comment here that say they won't care unless the profit is at a dangerously low level, and even if it is, I doubt they'll listen anyway, which is kind of insane. I mean, literally everyone can be against this, right? Everyone can just say like we don't want this. I mean, the Reddit is full with it, but they're still gonna roll it out. So I don't know, man. I hope they change it, of course, but it's not looking great. And this person here says, as I said with Mike before, yes, I can finally beat Amelia 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So it'll just all be it'll be so much more confusing, man. So here another comment which quotes the article that I just read. We didn't want people to ever hit a screen that said your desired username is taken, which was their goal in the beginning. And yeah, that is exactly what's going to happen now. Here we have another comment. We know this is kind of like other apps, but that's the point. Another quote from the article. I actually can't wait for the next chatting platform made for gamers and where the gaming community abroad goes next to communicate. So people are ready to ditch Discord, right? They really just want something new that actually listens to their community. Because Discord has pulled shenanigans in the past, right? Now, one of the biggest shenanigans they've done in the past is this. They changed the logo. Now, personally, I don't really care all that much about the logo, right? I mean, I did like the older one a bit more, but it's not that huge of an issue. But the community was really against this. I think that was 2019 or 2020, but the community really did not like this, and they just didn't listen. They didn't fucking they didn't give a shit about this. That the community was outraged about the new logo. And I mean, really, there was just no point in doing this. One thing that also post said, don't fix it if it ain't broken, alright? Like, this logo was not broken. This logo was beautiful. And then they changed it to this. And the font is pretty bad, honestly. Like, the font is not great. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, they didn't list the community here, and the community was really mad. So I highly doubt they're going to listen now. And yeah, here in the comments as well, they really cannot understand the new font. It still looks ugly. And yeah, that's about it for that, I guess. But yeah, just an example of Discord doing some bullshit. And I mean, this was really huge a couple years ago, but now it's not anymore. I mean, people got used to it. But I mean, the username thing is even bigger because, I mean, come on, bro. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Discord will actually lose a whole bunch of users because of it, but it's still an annoying change, and it could, definitely affect it a little bit. But we're going to check out some other posts right here. There's no nice way to say this. Discord username changes are totally moronic. reading through the post they put out, it's gonna be 2 dumbest sentences ever written. The biggest problem, our current usernames can be too complicated or obscure for people to remember share easily. A quote from the article. And they say this is just objectively untrue. The discriminator is extremely easy to find, and it's so easy to just copy and paste your username and discriminate for someone to just use to add you. Now we're going to end up with names having random characters throughout, which will be way more confusing and also just look so much worse, which you also said about the Mike and Jane thing. And yes, so this post also says someone managed to make 10,000 people happy by giving them a username to now making one person happy with the Mike thing. So there used to be 10,000 mics, and now there's going to only be one Mike, which was an argument they used. That they didn't like that only so much people could have Mike, but then they're going to lower it even more. It's so dumb. And this person also says that they can't believe people sat down and went through a lot of discussion and still decided this was the best outcome. It's just so dumb. And another comment right here, they say it's ironic they're removing number tags and they're forcing people to use numbers in their names to not have similar names. It's literally just tags all over again, but then it's more complicated. They're overcomplicating it for no reason. Just keep normal tags, bro. And another comment from this person right here, it will be the last one that I'll go through. This person says that the name wars will happen, with people selling accounts with certain names, supporting accounts because someone got the name before them, and anyone who's played MMO knows how this goes. And also, someone said that people also try to hack, like they're gonna be trying to hack it into accounts, and the name wars, kind of a funny name, but I mean it is true. Like people are gonna be reporting people just to try and get the username, false reports, and it's gonna be a whole fucking mess. Final post here, we have TeamSpeak, which for those that are young, I mean, I'm young myself. I didn't know. I'm unfamiliar with this platform, right? I've never used it, but I do know that it exists. But the TeamSpeak was even making fun of it. So with the code evolving usernames #8936, you can now get instant access to the new TeamSpeak beta client. So I mean, they're really trying to profit off this situation and try and revive their own app. TeamSpeak is like more of an older Discord, I guess. It's kind of dead nowadays, but they're still trying to become relevant again. But yeah, even TeamSpeak is mocking Discord now, which is not great. Some people have also started a fucking petition here with almost 15,000 people signed. Discord add back discriminators. So it's also here they go over a whole bunch of reasons. Yeah, once again here the last points. Change is not always better. Don't fix what isn't broken. Just horrible stuff, man. I don't know what Discord's doing, but I mean, it's not going into the right direction here. I mean, I'll still keep using it because, of course, I have my community on there, and it's kind of hard to just randomly switch over to something else, right? But maybe if if another platform rises up from the ashes and it kind of starts actually competing with Discord right now, because there isn't really a competitor. We have Guilded, but Guilded is kind of ass. So I mean, I don't know about that, but I mean, if there's comes like a decent change. Is something good that I can just switch to, I probably will, honestly, because it's not looking great here. Last thing I want to talk about in this video, and then I'll wrap it up, is another update that they're working on. New mobile app layout, which is kind of ass. Now, of course, you all have Discord on your phone, right, probably, and there's nothing really wrong with the layout. So once again, don't fix what isn't broken, but they are fixing something that isn't broken. They're gonna be making a whole new layout for mobile. So you can see here, this is how it would look like inside a server. So normally you just have text channels on the side here, right? And then you can click on them and then you're in the chat. But now there's just what even is it? It looks very weird. I've used this a little bit, but it's so fucking confusing, bro. Like it doesn't really look like Discord at all. It's really complicated. I haven't used it a lot, but if you want to use it, you can do it by I don't know. I'm not even gonna explain it, bro. It's a really weird way to do it. Just look it up to see how you can try it out yourself. But it's not cool. Like, if they also push this, it really I don't like this at all. It's pretty bad. Also a lot of negative feedback about this, and they also don't want it to. The Reddit doesn't want it to happen either. Same with the username thing. It's not looking great here. If they push both of these updates, they're gonna lose a lot of users, bro, for sure. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with this change? Or do you not agree? I mean, probably not, right? But yeah, anyways, gonna have to end it here. Discord, please stop, and see ya.